afternoon, class. Today we are going to look at force. So our topic for the day, or the main substrand, is force. Now I want us to consider some of the activities that we do in our daily lives. Have you ever kicked a ball? Maybe you are playing. What happened to it? Have you ever opened or closed a door? You are at home, you are opening and closing a door. What is happening? Have you ever blocked a moving toy? Maybe you are at home, you are playing with your friend, moving a toy. What happened to it? When you block it and it is moving. And then have you kicked a moving ball? Maybe a ball is moving and then you kick it. What happens? So as we'll be continuing in our lesson today, we will be reflecting on these 4 items in our daily lives. Now let's have the objectives of the day. Now I'll be asking 3 of us, Sophia, Hilary and Ella, to read for us. So please read for us the objectives of the day, respectively. That's good. So by the end of the lesson today, we will be able to define force and state the SI unit of force. Number 2 is that by the end of the lesson today, we will be able to state the effects of force and identify them. And then by the end of the day, or by the end of the lesson, we should be able to investigate and analyze how force affects bodies. Of course, I'll give you that one as an activity in your groups of 3s as we continue. Now let's look at how to define force. Now force refers to a pull or a push as a result of interaction from bodies. So when bodies are interacting, 2 or more bodies, they interact, there will be either a pull or a push. So that is what we call force. Just as the other parameters in physics, also force has its SI unit. The SI unit of force is Newton. So Newton, and not newtons, Newton. Symbol is N in brackets. So when you're asked about the SI unit of force, you write Newton. Now force has 2 parts, or has 2 parameters in it. It has magnitude and direction. Now when you talk about magnitude, it is the size or the amount of force. And of course the direction, you know that one. Now, a magnitude and the direction of a force is represented by a straight line. So you have a straight line with an arrow. So the straight line will be giving us the magnitude, while the arrow will be giving us the direction. So different lines have different lengths. So we can show that force, or different forces, have different magnitudes by using such a drawing. So the first drawing, the arrow at the top, is that it is longer than the one at the bottom. Meaning, the first arrow has a greater magnitude than the other one. Of course, they are facing the same direction. Now let's look at the effects of force. Now, force can make a stationary object to move. Let's look at this orange here. I have an orange, so it is stationary. When I apply a force, it moves. Another thing is that force can increase the speed of a moving object. So when an object is moving, I can increase its speed, and that is by applying force. Also, force can stop moving objects. So let's still consider my orange. It is moving, I stop it. So force stops moving objects. Another thing is that force decreases the speed of a moving object. So if this orange is moving at a high speed, and then I apply some force, it is going to decrease in its speed. Lastly is that force changes the shape of an object. So I have a paper here. It is rectangular in nature. But if I apply some force, I deform it, or I change the shape of this object. Lastly is that it can change the direction of a moving object. If it is moving to the right, you can change the direction. So we have an activity here. So you will write it, and then look at it as I move around and check what you are doing in class. So I'll be moving around to see what you are doing.